Hi, I'm Lizzie. I'm the food editor of Delicious magazine, and today we're going to make a really fab lemon, polenta and mascarpone cake. The main ingredient of this cake is of course lemons. We're using really gorgeous unwaxed lemons here. You can actually smell the citrus flavour coming through with those. We're also using polenta. We're using fine polenta, not coarse polenta, because we don't want to actually have the crunchiness of the polenta in the cake. And then at the end we're going to cover the whole thing with really rich creamy mascarpone. So first things first, we've got to preheat our oven. We want to prepare our cake tin. Little tip is to use the empty butter paper to butter inside of your cake tin. Give it a good rub around. Once it's nicely greased all over, just want to sprinkle the inside with a little bit of polenta. This is going to stop the cake sticking to the inside of the tin and also give you a really nice crispy crust. Give it a nice turn. Just want to get the edges nice and coated. Now I'm going to set that aside and get on with making the cake. So to make the cake, start off with some softened butter. You want to make sure the butter is really at room temperature, otherwise you won't get the volume you need to make the cake really light and fluffy. So get that into your bowl. And then add to that some sugar. And then we're going to whisk it until it's really light and fluffy. So make some noise now. So there we go. That's about the perfect consistency we want there. So now we're ready to add the eggs. So we're going to add the eggs one at a time. The reason we're doing this is because we want to whisk each egg in fully so that it doesn't split the mixture. First one in. Give it a really good whisk. So then we carry on and do the same for all the remaining eggs. Now your eggs are in, you're ready to add your dry ingredients. Start by adding the ground almonds first. So get all those in. And give it a nice little stir around, start to get them all incorporated. And then once they start to all get involved into the mixture, you can add in your polenta. Look at that, really lovely. It's going to make a really yellow, gorgeous cake. And then we just want to add a little bit of baking powder and some flour. So keep mixing, getting all that there. Don't worry if the mixture looks a bit dry because you're about to be adding some lemon juice and lemon zest in, which will bring it right back. Make sure all the pockets are uncovered. So we're going to set this to one side and we're going to zest our lemons. We're going to do the zest of 4 lemons and only the juice of 2, but it's going to give a really lovely lemony flavour. These are really good zesters. They get the zest nice and fine. You don't want to have really stringy big bits of lemon zest in your cake. You want to get all the flavour, but you don't want to be picking it out of your teeth later. Okay, so we've got the zest of 4 lemons, so we're just going to get that in there. It's going to be really, really tasty. So once all the zest goes in, we can get some lemon juice going. We want to just have the juice of 2 lemons. This is a really nifty bit of kit. Stops you getting any pips into anything. Just give it a good squeeze. All that lovely juice comes out. Give that a little mix around before you do the second lemon. It's looking really lovely. So last little bit of juice. Oh, look at that. It's going to be fabulous. Going to get all that lemon juice incorporated, and then we're ready to get it into the tin. So grab the tin and just spoon it into there. Doesn't matter if you leave some behind. It's great for licking out afterwards. So I want to just smooth that off, and then it's ready to go into the oven. We're going to bake it for 1 hour and 15 minutes or till a skewer inserted into the middle comes out clean. So when the cake's in the oven for about 1 hour or so, you can make the syrup, which is going to give the cake a really lovely, sticky, lemony texture. So we're going to add some sugar to a saucepan, and then we want to add the juice of a lemon. So give that another squeeze. And there, like so. And do the other half. So then we're going to add a good splash of limoncello. Like that. It's going to add a really nice sweet stickiness as well. Then we get that under a low heat, and once the sugar's melted, you can turn off the heat and set it aside. So here we have our lemon cake straight out of the oven. And what we're going to do is we want to stab it all over with a skewer. So we're going to make lots of holes because we're going to pour our warm syrup over the top, and it's going to absorb through the holes into the cake and make the cake really lovely and sticky. So once that's done, we take our warm syrup, and then very gently, just going to pour it over the cake. Make sure you cover the cake, don't leave any bits out. Look at that, delicious. So what we're going to do now is leave that in the tin to cool for about 15 minutes. Once it's cooled a little, you can turn it out onto a cake rack and leave it to cool completely. Then you make the lovely icing that goes on top. Now that the cake is completely cold, we can make the mascarpone icing to go on top. So take the mascarpone, scrape it into the bowl, give it a little bit of a mix around, and add cream and the icing sugar. Gently stir it all together. So once that's all lovely and smooth and thick, we're ready to ice the cake. So get your cake onto a lovely cake stand or a plate and you're ready to start icing. Dollop the icing onto the cake. Be really generous. You want to have loads of icing. And then just spread it around evenly. Don't worry if you're a little bit messy. It'll taste just as good. Take it right to the edges. Now we're ready to put the lemon curd over. Just take a spoon, just drizzle it over the top. Doesn't matter if it all goes a bit lumpy because you're going to stir it in a second with a skewer to get a lovely swizzled effect. And just stir it into the mascarpone. Really mix it around. And once you've done that, finishing touches, some flaked almonds. These ones are toasted already, so you don't have to worry. Just sprinkle them over, like so. Really generous. And then you're ready to eat your cake. So there you have lovely lemon and polenta cake with mascarpone icing. Don't forget that you can find more of our great recipes in Delicious magazine or here at the website.